Welcome to Think Big, Dream Big, Biddles Investment Group. Can't really see the shirt, but it's there. I wanted to invite you guys to see what we've been working on. We've got an investment strategy, and I want to display a tool, so I'm going to share my screen. And so this is a tool, in-house tool that we've built. We have a Saturday live webinar that covers the stock market. We go over indexes. We also go over stocks. We tinker with crypto a little bit, and then we also do some options. So if you're interested in that webinar, just visit biddlesgroup.com, which we're going to go to now. If you can see my screen. And then you just sign up right here. We'll invite you to that webinar every Saturday. It's from 10 a.m. to about 12:30. Sometimes we go over. No obligation uh, to stay. And I'll display a little bit of what we got here. So we've got a few videos. We'll try to include that in the chat. Join us weekly. You can register here. We've got pre-recorded meeting summaries you can listen to. So I just want to promote that. But I do want to jump into the tool. I'm going to show you my trading account briefly. Hopefully there's no account numbers, but I just want to show you what happened today in the market. And so we made a little bit of money. We are up 1.64% right here. Don't grab any account numbers. If you see them, we got to block that out. But actually up on a down day. And the strategy is to move into strength. So these are the securities we're in. We're heavy in utilities, real estate, communication service, some consumer discretionary, got a few ETFs. But I want to show you down here what happened in the market. So the Dow's down 649, 1.48%. NASDAQ's down negative 497, down negative 2.64%, and the S&P is down negative 104, negative 1.76%. But we made 1.64% off of about half the amount we have invested today in one of our accounts. And so what I want to show you is how we were able to select the securities and identify strength. So there is a tool, it's updated daily. I'm actually going to update it now. You can see in the background, we have a Python running to update the tool. This is going to produce a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet will be pasted into another spreadsheet. And that's how we update the data. So eventually, hopefully, it won't be too much of a manual process. But I want to go to the Investor Edge dashboard. And so this is where you can make empowered decisions driven by data. Now, I've been investing for some time. I kind of know price movements. We know how to read stock charts very well. My pattern that I love to get into is a cup pattern, a double bottom. Sometimes I'll do a support resistance play. But um, what I want to show you is so it comes up. It might take a minute to come up, but what we've done here is uh, we have divided everything into sectors, and then we have an AI chart pattern selection. So you can go in and see what the tools and algorithms have picked up as chart patterns. You can search by the name of the stock. You have to click inside of the area of the box in order to get rid of that. So just one small pro tip. Subsector, you can go into dive into any subsectors. You can go into a chart review. Now, this is a manual chart review. It's different from the AI chart pattern. This is where we manually go in and I identify some of these patterns. And then you have catalysts. So you might have nuclear as a catalyst, US tax tariffs. It might be an AI play. And so these are also manual. I go through these and we update these manually. On the side, you'll see different facts or figures, how much this happens to be the 1 year return of some of these catalysts. And then this one happens to be a count of how many patterns that there are. This one is really focused on cut patterns, but there are some patterns like consistent support resistance patterns, such as Intuit. Intuit has a nice support resistance pattern. And so we'll identify those. I want to walk you through a little bit of how to read it and then the use of it. So of course we have the name, the ticker, the price of it. This is support and resistance. This is a 14-day support and resistance, I believe. I'll have to check that. Then we have how much the price is from the support. So if you're a support trader and you like to catch the price bounce off of a support level, you will want to look for a support that's pretty close, like this PRNT at 1.25%. If we take a look at the chart, PRNT, you can see my cup pattern in the background. You can see that that thing is pretty much near a support level. And so we just did that real time. I can actually move this bar. That is a level there, but we can move this about here maybe. There's a little gap there. I like to fill that in. But we do some definite in-depth chart patterns. So I'll try to be brief. This excites me, so I get to going. But going back to the dashboard, and so we can see that that is hitting a support level. We have the average true range, which is very important for when you want to set your stops. So for example, BITX, that has an average true range of 8.21%. And so what I do is I like to double some of these average true ranges because the market's been very volatile lately. And so once we double that range, we know that we have to set at least a 16 or a 20% stop so we don't get bumped out of there. And so that's going to be too volatile. There are about 825 securities in here, custom selected from our weekly sessions that we hold. You can join a weekly session. Um, and so that is informative on setting your stops. If you want to see if price is above some of the moving averages, you've got your exponential moving average, your simple moving average, and your volume weighted uh, or VWAP. And so if price is above these, they'll show green. If they're below these, they'll show red. And then, of course, some of my favorite indicators, what this was built for is momentum. And so you'll see the RSI, CCI, and MACD here. And you'll see kind of like bars or whatever on them. And you can go click over here. This only holds 100 securities, so you just click next, like the next page. You can scroll through there, or you can actually click on some of the sectors or chart patterns. So what you'll see below here is what stocks are happen to be moving right now, or stocks that have the most momentum. And so we can see we've got Lockheed Martin, McKesson, Eli Lilly, Intuit. These are stocks with momentum. And what I like to do is see if I can get a stock that has consistency across all momentum indicators. And so I'm looking for one now. I don't see one, but we can select one of these. AT&T has been on fire. I know that DTE just filled out a beautiful cup with pattern. And just to show you, here's AT&T on fire. I think that thing went up today, so it's a great investment. Communications has been a great sector. And then if we go to DTE, which is an electric company here in Detroit, you can see that there was a cup pattern. So this chart to the left is the weekly chart, and the chart to the right is the daily chart. And so I don't know if it's the inverse because this is a video, but you can see that beautiful cup and that handle on DTE. So let's dive in how I use this dashboard. First, I might look at some things that are moving right now. So I see Tesla short, so Tesla must be going down. This is performance. And so you're going to see names and how they've been performing. So these are going to be the top performing names, like Jet AI should be doing very well. Digital Turbine, Big Bear has performed very well. And so what I like to do is I go to momentum. I'll check out performance, and then I'll check out momentum, see if there are any uh, names that cross over or intertwine. But for the most part, I'm looking at what has strength and what is moving. You'll see the momentum indicator in blue. There's a performance indicator in green right below that. So you'll see a little graph, and then there's just a little informational box with additional information on the security that you select. And so, for example, if we selected AT&T, it'll drill down. It'll give you the top CCI, MACD, and RSI for AT&T. And so RSI is going to be the relative strength. CCI is the commodity channel index, and MACD is the moving average convergence divergence. And so there are some instructions towards the bottom as well on how to use this. Very small. I'll probably make them a little bigger. But so jumping into the video, I know you're like, well, how do I use it? Okay, so this is how I use it. I'll scroll down to S&P sector only. So this is what I look at. So first, we can actually go to performance. And so I just want to show you all how to do indexes so we can see for the week what's happened with the indexes. And so we just do only index. We see the VIX has been very volatile, 3 month, 1 month, and then 1 week the VIX is up there, and the other indexes are down a little bit. So it doesn't put negative on the other side of the chart, but I'll try to have negative on the other side. But you can see there are small negative numbers here for all of these here for the week. So what that tells me is I need to jump into some inverse ETFs, or I need to jump into some strong sectors. And so if we go back over here, we've got our sectors. We see now if we look across the board, this is the top momentum. So we see, of course, consumer staples at the top. So we need to be in consumer staples. We see real estate, which has crept up over the weeks. I think I might have mentioned that in 2 calls prior, or the prior call, that real estate was showing, it's a little funky, but real estate is showing a little bit of strength. We've got healthcare. And so those are probably going to be the top ones I want to be in: real estate, healthcare, consumer staples. So from there, we know what we want to get into. We know what we want to target. Now we can dig in. So I'll dig into healthcare. I see a few names here. So what I'm going to do is look at what names really have momentum. So I see MCK. I'm going to look at MCK, which is McKesson. And I see that that has kind of a cup and handle pattern that's already completed right here. So I don't want to get into it. It probably will continue to go up, but I don't want to get into it right now. So it's not my pattern. I'm going to check out CVS, excuse me, and AMG. I think AMG is my pattern. So just for, so CVS is looking okay on the weekly. I see that there's kind of a cut pattern here. Let's see if we can feel that out here. Okay. A little choppy. I can see another little area here that price is hitting and has to break out of. And so CVS, I don't know. I think let's try Amgen, AMGN. We'll leave CVS. We'll put that to the watch list. Amgen, I'm liking. So AMG, I've already drawn this pattern. We've got a cup. We got 325 to the upside. And if we don't hit 325, we've got this shelf below it, what I'm showing you here. So we can see right here is price has stopped at 327-ish. Now, if we go a shelf below that, we're at 320. The price is at 310. So about $20, maybe about 6-7%. 10% would be $30, $31. So it's a nice amount on here. It's a nice amount of meat on here. We can see how it moves. So what I want to do, even though we have this data in the spreadsheet, I just want to show you how I placed some trades here. So I'll measure the week. So it moved within the week about 6%. We just estimate that. Now I want to grab this large move here. This is the largest move. So I'm going to say 6 to 14% at any time this can move in a week. It may not, because what we see is shorter moves to the upside, that right side cup building and the consolidation. that's happening a little bit. But we're going to measure this wick here because you got to look at that. And so we can see that it's moved about 5%. So if I'm going to get into this, I probably need to set at least a 6% stop, right? I need to watch it. So I don't know how I feel about that 6% stop, but I'll continue to go through here, find securities that I'm comfortable with the risk, and with the stop levels. If we go here, we can go into this here, or we can let me find Amgen. I just want to show that, it's clickable. It'll bring up certain metrics. And if you're looking for metrics, we can build that in, but you can see it's got a strong RSI. CCI is strong. It's not overbought yet. RSI is not overbought. So 70 is overbought, 100 is overbought, CCI, MACD is great. Anything above zero is great. We see that it's above the moving averages, and the average true range we see is 2%, but what we measured out, what we know that might be possible, is that 6%. And so maybe I'll go between 2 and 6. Maybe we'll select 5 just so it can get that movement. But I do have to, do a little bit more measuring and really fine tune that stop. But right now, Amgen, it does have strength. It's in the healthcare sector. There's a double bottom and a descending triangle, which is the AI pattern that was identified. Now, you can also go here. Now, this is just a database pretty much of the top stocks here that have momentum. So they're going to be positive on RSI, CCI. Sorry about that. I meant to scroll over. So they're all going to be positive on RSI, CCI, MACD. So this is the home page. This is performance. You can hover over. This is momentum. This is going to be your data. And then this is a quick security snapshot. So we're going to bring in the profile, but if you just wanted to check something, say, hey, I'm interested in Apple or American Airlines. Let's pick American Airlines. Hopefully we got the ticker for you. We don't have all tickers. We've only got mostly popular tickers, but you can see the RSI is positive. CCI is very negative. MACD is bad. It's in the descending triangle. And then we have some other metrics here. So if we start at the top, of course, we got the sector, subsector, name, ticker. Then we have price metrics, the price, the analyst price target, support, resistance, 52-week low, 52-week high. Then we have the returns, 1 week, 1 month, 3 month, and 1 year. And then we have the AI chart detection. So descending triangle, no pattern. We have the momentum. We have the trading stats. So percent from the prices from the support level, the average true range percent, and the actual average true range amount. And we also bring in the PE ratio. Make sure you're getting a good value. And if the stock has a dividend yield, it will display here. So one thing I do like about this, let's say we were interested in American Airlines. You saw that I was going over here to TradingView. You can just simply scroll down. I can put in AAL, push enter, and then I've got like an instant chart, instant American Airlines chart right on the same page that I'm researching the stocks with. So I think that's pretty cool. There are some really cool things with this TradingView embed. You've got the technical analysis. So this pretty much is saying sell. Once you see that blue rising, that's a buy signal. You can see the performance down at the bottom. Now, TradingView does have a connection with the actual real-time metrics at Wall Street or the Bloomberg routers. And so their percentages may differ a little bit than these percentages here because this is taken from Yahoo Finance, which gathers data from many different sources. So just want to disclaim that there. You'll see that these are, and sometimes the name comes in, it doesn't, but what this is accumulation distribution, the relative strength, and the commodity channel index. You can see both of these are pointing down, which is not a good sign, and it's all sell. And then you can see from the chart, if we adjust that a little bit. So I just want to kind of show you how to play with it. These are customizable. You just move that down. We can move that chart down. We can even draw on this chart if we wanted to. But American Airlines, once a high flyer, you can see this thing was just off to the races. And now it has come down slightly. So we can even measure that, see how much that has come down. 28%. It's a nice fall. So we've got data over here. We can move this over if we want. We can see the day range. We can see earnings. We can see financial figures. We can see the performance, of course. And then we've got the technical indicators here as well. And so this is all built so that you can, whatever kind of trading strategy you do use, that you'll be able to use this. You see, this is a strong sell, so this is a huge pullback. Looks like a gap was right here, so that gap filled. Um, and I know a gentleman, he likes to trade on these support levels. So once this thing starts to base out, sort of like this right here, this area here, it might be something of interest with that 28% fall. And so you can do the reverse. Instead of looking for momentum, you can look for things that are running out of momentum, such as this right here. Or you can look for certain patterns, like this is a descending triangle pattern. You can just look for those descending triangle patterns, look for all the stocks with those descending triangle patterns. And so another cool tool here is if you're ever wondering, like the market is getting hit so bad, we can just go here. We'll take out the negatives. Now, if you do want to get those beat up stocks, you'll click the negatives or the most negative. We'll take out 0%. We'll take out 1 and 2%. And so we're left with the highest stocks that were moving today. And so I think this is Monsanto, I'm not certain. Hershey, McKesson, Hormel, Campbell Soup. Those are consumer staples or non-durables. You can see that right here, consumer non-durables, where you want to be. Utilities, they've only got one at 2.65. So the strength that I see is consumer non-durables. They've got the most stocks that have are over 3%. So we bring in 2%, we see finance is strong, utilities strong, health technology, health services, communications. I am in Verizon, so that's great. Electronic technology, technology services, but we really see strength here in consumer non-durables. We see a lot of stocks in there. We see a lot in utilities. We see a lot in finance. And so what I'm probably going to do is look for a finance stock. And then we can go to 1%, expand it out, and then you can do the inverse. And so I think that's a really cool tool to use, especially when you're trading during the day. It's kind of like a little heat map. You can do performance. You can filter in here. You can filter by sector. You can filter by index. This happens to be the S&P, but we've got the Russell, the Dow, the NASDAQ, all in here. So you can change the index, boom, and then we can see what fired off in this index today. So in the NASDAQ, we know the NASDAQ got hit really bad. We've got Pepsi, Airbnb, Charter. I don't know if that's Charter One Bank, but Charter, APP, and Kraft Heinz. So, and Keurig Dr. Pepper, all strong today. So it's another way to find strength and another way to confirm that you're in the right place, right? So what we saw was consumer staples, but I do see finance here, so I want to see where finance is at. So I'm just doing a check. I don't want to bore you, trying to just kind of navigate to show you how to use the tool. I do see financial here, financial. So it's kind of there. So it's surprising that financials did really well today. So it could be a setup for a new trend in the financial space. But I do know consumer staples, real estate, and healthcare, those have been really strong. So I'll probably pick up some consumer staples. Right now, I'm very heavy in utilities. And last Friday, I saw the money come out of utilities and back into utilities. So sector rotation is moving very fast with the volatility that we have in the market. So I think that's it for the dashboard. I hope that helps you understand how it works, how you can filter. So all you have to do, let's say we're looking in this database for let's go to finance because we saw financial services was moving. We know everything that filters inside of here is going to have momentum. And so I'm interested to see what's in here. So it may take a little bit. Sometimes you might have to refresh. There are a lot of connections in the background. We'll try to make that faster. So we got AJG. We got a few utilities. CINF. I think that was one. Let me take a look at that. So actually, I'm going to use my tool instead of click right over to trading view. It's just much quicker. So this is beautiful right here. Just happened upon this. All right. So this is almost a cup pattern. So we can draw that in. Uh, we'll go up. So let's take a look here. Move that over. All right. So maybe, but if I do decide to invest, I'll do the measurements so that I can set my stop. Look at that ATR. 160 is the upside, and we're at 147, so that's about a $13 upside, which is about 10%, a little less than 10% of what the price is right now. $14 will be 14.75 will be 10%. So you might get 8-9%. It could jump above that. You could get that 10%, but 8-9% in this looking pretty good. We know financials is strong. So I might look into this one here. And so we just found that. We're using the tool. We look through here, we found that. Now this one, you can scroll over, you can see some of the other indicators, where the price is at, how far the price is above support, the actual support resistance, if you think you're off or close. Long as you're close to these numbers and you're charting, you should be okay. So everything is here, I guess, that you need. There will be some fine tuning to try to make it more user friendly and easier. This is easy for me to understand. So if you want to drop some comments on, hey, let's, do a chart for this or that, I'm definitely open to it. We want this to be as user friendly as possible. And with that, continue to think big, dream big. Had to try to show the shirt, but I got my blur on. Um, think big, dream big. And you can just, play with it, filter, see what comes up. Any questions, drop it in the chat. And it was a pleasure talking with you all today. I'm trying to think of anything lasting. And then if we do want to check, just sometimes I do like to check my data so we can see. Now, I don't know how to do the weekly on the sectors, but we're right here in Yahoo. We can see consumer, defensive, and real estate was up today. And so from what we've gathered, if we were in any real estate plays from what we saw on that dashboard, what has the momentum, we'd have been safe today if we were in the consumer staples. So again, if we go back here, we saw that. We saw that right here in the momentum page, consumer staples, real estate, and those two are up today, right? Um, and so if you need assistance, again, just drop a comment. I'll do another tutorial. We're gonna try to fine tune this. If you have coding and want to do work for free, please reach out to me. Background. Let's look at that data. The data's still running, so I'm going to update this in probably 30 minutes or so. Feel free to go play with it, and thank you so much for your time.